So we're still bullish Amazon. We think one of the underappreciated points about the consumer business is they significantly overbuilt their fulfillment and shipping capacity throughout 2020 and 2021. And now, as volumes continue to roll over their platform, we think profitability improves in the fourth quarter, improves in 23, improves in 2024 as well. Now, because it is an overbuild to the point where, by our math, we think they've essentially built enough capacity to almost get them into the holiday season of 25. The slope of the profit improvements in retail is really going to come down to the health of the consumer. But in our mind, we still see Amazon as a share gainer within e-commerce and set to show improving profitability in retail as those volumes flow over all those warehouses and all those workers.
So it becomes a point of contention that they just need to right-size in terms of, I don't want to necessarily downplay the layoffs that they've conducted, and even just at the start of the year when it came to a lot of their logistical staff. But if they can find that mix, then you're relatively bullish on Amazon moving forward.
That's exactly right. And the other part I think that's underappreciated in the Amazon accounting and the way they report quote-unquote retail profitability, we think that there is $10 to $15 billion of investment in projects that don't have a lot of direct revenue attributed to them that are all recorded within the retail segment. So when you're talking about Echo and Alexa, when you're talking about the satellites with Kuiper, when you're talking about the video game team, the healthcare team that the other two analysts spoke about, all of those costs are recorded in quote, retail profitability. And so when you read about Amazon potentially exercising more discipline and pulling back investment in some of those areas, that too is actually going to show you faster quote unquote reported retail profitability as we go into 23 and 24 as well.
On that, does that come at the cost of growth though? The fact that they are pulling out some of the investment in some things that could potentially in the future have?
It's a great question, but I think that, through this downturn, I am hopeful that Amazon, Meta, and Alphabet are going to have more forced discipline. They do have these big teams of engineers working on projects that have far out paths toward revenue and addressable markets. But in a lot of cases, I would argue that the teams are too big and the spend is too large. So I don't want them to pull back completely on these. I just think on these projects, I just think that what you're going to see is you're going to see more discipline. More OpEx discipline on the types of budgets that are given to these teams, more discipline about the size of the teams that are allocated to these projects. And so that, the bull in me for the entire sector hopes that we're going to emerge in the back half of 23 and into 24 with the leading tech companies still with the most engagement and users, share of wallets, share of time, share of ad dollars, et cetera, investing, but investing in a more disciplined way that actually leads to more free cash flow for shareholders in 24 and beyond.